2 gunships from the 11th Aviation Brigade lift off and head north into the dark and gusty winter night. Flying conditions are wretched, 25-knot winds and no moon. The flight is led by the unit's 42-year-old commander, Colonel Ralph Hales. Hales flies under the call sign Gunfighter 6. So as to better control his forces, Hales has been ordered not to take part in the fighting himself. He chooses to disobey.
Okay, night mission of 16.
17.
Yeah, 17.
His wingman that night is Captain Dan Garvey. Garvey flies under the radio call sign Blue 6.
RD-6, Gunfighter 6.
The pilots quickly spot 2 vehicles that seem to be sitting a couple of kilometers north of the American line. Gunfighter 6 and Blue 6 then establish radio contact with Colonel Hillman to confirm the targets as hostile.
Okay, you have a Bradley at 9046, 245, and he's oriented north on the screen line. He's got an APC near him also. Then off to his right are these 2 vehicles that I see, and those are the vehicles at 915, 270. Your Bradley is not even looking anywhere near them. Over.
Early on, Garvey in Blue 6 notices that their Apache fire control computers contradict the grid locations for the 2 enemy scouts given to them by the men on the ground. At Garvey's urging, they take a closer look, closing to within 3 kilometers of the target vehicles. But Task Force Commander Hillman, having been told by the pilots that the vehicles sit nearly 2 kilometers north of his lines, reassures the airmen that these must be the enemy scouts pinpointed earlier by his own ground troops.
Roger, I don't worry about that. Could you still engage those 2 vehicles at the 270 grid line? Roger, I could shoot those easy, right. Roger, go ahead, take them out.
Hales, in Gunfighter 6, decides to rely on his own battlefield judgment instead of the Apache computer.
Okay, firing gun.
Go.
Gunfighter stalling. Radar 13. Fucking gun jammed.
When Hales' 30mm gun jams, it's just the first of several opportunities he will get to re-evaluate the data and abort the mission.
Talk to you, over. Gunfighter 6 is on the net, have the 2 vehicles in sight. It appears one of them is in fact killed, and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the other one now. Roger, go ahead, take him out.
Noting that one of the vehicles appears partially destroyed, Hales assumes these are the same enemy scouts struck earlier by the TOW missiles.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's hard to pull this trigger. Back me up a little bit here. Tell me, I'm firing heading 070, 3,800 meters. So my current grid...
Hales, still noticing the discrepancy between his fire control computer and the grid coordinates provided by the ground commander, hesitates again before following through with the mission.
And the grid of the target...
Roger, I got 90223, and I've got it out at 3,800 meters. Ready in the back.
Again, the opportunity to abort presents itself when Hales cannot lock up the laser on target. He reverses the FLIR image for greater contrast.
More track.
Switch to black hawk. There you go. Now do them up. Nice and steady.
I hope it's enemy.
That's all right. Just stay on.
Here it comes.
That's one.
I guess you could say that hit it.
All right. Now let's take a look at the second one.
Gunfighter 6 completely destroyed the first target with the first bullet.
Let's take out the second one. Let's go.
Roger, I'm going to go ahead and shoot the second vehicle. It's still intact, but it's fixing to go away.
Yep, you're ready in the back. Let's do them. Looking good. This bud's for you.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. He's dead, too.
Ooh-wee, did we hit those targets? Roger. Trust me when I say that anything is around those 2 vehicles is dead. There are no hot targets. Oh, got 2 personnel walking away from the targets. Roger, you got guns? My gun is jammed. They're walking on a heading of east.
When Hales's gun jams again, he asks Garvey in Blue 6 to kill the survivors.
Roger, we've got them here. They're walking 090 here. Break Blue 6. Can you engage with guns?
Roger, engaging with guns.
Just as Garvey's gunner is about to take out the two men, a ground controller interrupts the mission with chilling news.
Reporting that maybe friendly vehicles may have been hit over. What? Roger, I was afraid of that. I was really afraid of that. 5 is engaging the target for 30.
Ceasefire, ceasefire.
Ceasefire.
Acknowledge ceasefire.
Roger, ceasefire.
All the time, 25-knot winds had been blowing the two Apaches to the east. Human error did the rest. Instead of heading due north and perpendicular to the American lines as the pilots had thought, the helicopters had been drifting nearly parallel to them. That's why the Bradley and APC sitting at the far end of the right flank seemed to Hales and Garvey to be north of the American position.
I hope it's not friendlies I just blew up, because they're all dead.
It's easier for us to engage a target out there and say, yeah, whatever that is. But it was stressed that you would be positive about what you engaged. And it was also stressed of a point at which the friendly units would stop, and that's where the ground commanders would tell us, we've got no friendly units beyond this point. But there was still an identification upon this. It's a pilot responsibility.
Dragon 6, Gunfighter 6, I destroyed 2 vehicles at 917. Correction, 915-270, and they were both friendly vehicles. Request permission to break station and go home. Negative, remain on station. Those things are going to happen. Over.
Friendly fire or fratricide is a fact of war. There is no way around it. Technology will never solve it, even though many say that it eventually will. And quite honestly, you can't fault the person who actually pulls the trigger. He's doing his very best. And quite often, he's much more cautious than he probably should be in combat sometimes, because when you're very cautious in combat, you become a target yourself.
Yeah, how much more left?
I don't know. Very hard for me to concentrate right now.
I know it.
Yeah, well, I'm just double checking. They look like they are. I just killed a bunch of people, you know.
Yeah, but we don't know which ones they are.
They're friendlies. They're U.S. people.
Hales is right. The first Apache ground support kills of the war are a 23-year-old specialist, Jeff Middleton, and Private Bob Talley. Talley is just 18. 6 others are wounded in the attack, but somehow survive.
Are you up there?
I'm ruined, you know.
I know it, but listen to me.
I killed some people here.
I know it.
Just hours after landing, Hales is relieved of command for violating orders. And so the Apache is involved in just one friendly fire incident in Desert Storm. By the end of the war, they carry out nearly 10,000 missions without mishap.